Welcome to Talk Sped. Today we have crossed almost a year of distance learning, and I have a wonderful panel who will reflect back on their journey of distance learning. I have a parent, Pooja Goel. Pooja is coming back to the channel and sharing her experience of how her son Nav is doing with distance learning this past year. And she, as a parent, will reflect on some of her experiences of both, the positives, the pros, and the cons. Then I have a teacher, Shane Soriano. Shane is an elementary school special education teacher teaching the first and second grade class. And welcome, Shane, to the TalkSped panel. And we also have a friend of mine, Glennis Mason. She's a program specialist in the Bay Area, working with the public school system. So these panelists will reflect on this year, unprecedented year, their resilience and their journey. And hopefully the audience can, get something out of it. Maybe they'll see something that they have experienced too and relate to some of it. And also give me some comments and, leave some messages to us and share your experiences and thoughts of what it has been for you. So let's begin with Pooja. Pooja is a parent and she will share a little bit more about her reflection, her highs and lows during distance learning.
Thank you, Namita, for inviting me again. It's been a pleasure. So the things are really tough for all the people around the world, and these are really testing times for us. And we are going through such a big crisis. And like all of us have our good days and bad days. And like my personal experience is this 1 year was kind of a mixed bag for me. And like I would say, like with the distance learning especially, I think it has helped me because my child was with me throughout the day. I think I got more time with my child and I got to know him in a better way now, and we have bonded more as a family during this time. I think I know my child better, his mood swings, his strengths, his weaknesses, and even he's totally different with us now, because earlier he was busy in his own activities, school and everything, and we were busy in our own work and stuff. But now, I mean, we go for a drive every day with him in the car for the last 1 year, and we look forward to that thing every day. And he will go and he will grab the car keys and he will say, let's go in the car. So, I mean, you are getting a lot of family time with your child. And other thing is, I guess, with the teachers, I mean, you get one-to-one interaction with the teachers on a daily basis, which you will never get when they are going to school. And which is a privilege for us, because I mean, you learn all the strategies they are using with your child. And I mean, and I should not forget to mention, like all the teachers throughout the world, they are doing a fabulous job. And thanks to all of them for being our support system during this time. Otherwise, it would not have been possible. And I think we are more like a team now with the teachers. So I think sometimes I feel it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
That's so well put, Pooja. I think you bring such a good point about becoming a team member in helping your child's education. Along with the teachers, you have come together in helping your child, and the silver lining is the extra time that you got with your son.
Exactly.
Really helped you bond and know each other more. So this is so unique and positive. Thank you. And I'm sure all the days were not like that. So can you share with us some of your challenges that you have faced?
Yeah, like I said, you have good days and you have bad days. But I think it's a mixed bag, I said earlier. So I think what I feel, the first thing is the drawback was the lack of social interaction for everyone. And kids are not meeting any of their peers. They are not seeing their teachers and anybody. So it's difficult for all of us. Apart from that, I feel there was too much of screen time for the kids. Even now, they're sitting in front of computers whole day. So it's hard, and I think it's not good for their mental growth, they need a lot of emotional support, and it's so difficult to keep them engaged whole day. It's not an easy thing to do. So I think those are one of the drawbacks, and nobody can help it out because we are going through such a crisis these days. Like, safety is the need of the hour.
Yeah, thank you, Pooja. Let's listen from Shane. What is your reflection as a teacher, Shane, once you heard about its distance learning?
Yes. So the unprecedented time that we are faced right now, it changed the mode of teaching and learning of everyone throughout the whole world. So it was very challenging. It was mixed emotions. The anxiety was very high in the beginning, and there was this big how question. How will I teach? How will I come up with intentional lesson plans for my students? How will I support my students and parents virtually? However, the support from the parents that I have received in my class made the distance learning very successful in my class. They became my extension. They instantly became my remote para-educators. They helped me prompt their children. They helped me complete activities while I am teaching skills and lessons virtually. And I agreed to what Pooja had said, that they become a team member, or we became a team member. The interaction between the teachers and the parents was a very, very, very good experience for everyone.
Yeah, I think the collaboration has gone to a different level in education. And I think this collaboration with the parent, of course, the how was challenging. And I know there are challenges even till date on learning about technology, and it's changing so rapidly, and we are thankful that they're teaching us all these new things. Our children are teaching us, and managing for teachers, I think that personal life and as well as the professional life, and trying to have your cat jump in between your Zoom meetings, and your dog barking on the side, those have been very much part of our lives. So thank you, Shane, for highlighting your collaboration. And let's go to Glennis. And Glennis, could you tell me a little bit about what, as you reflect back in this year, what comes to your mind?
Well, Namita, thanks so much for inviting me to join Pooja and Shane. I feel like I'm in a group of folks who see the glasses half full, and that is very encouraging. We've learned a lot about ourselves. We've looked at ourselves as educators and how we do our job and how we meet the needs of students. And we've deepened our knowledge and our understanding of how our students learn. And that's what's really been the biggest silver lining for me. I think as individual districts, and even as the entire field of education at a macro level, we've learned a lot about how education's funded, how we're actually structured at the state level, the district level, and then how we actually deliver instruction every day as individual teachers, school sites, and districts. I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is that we've learned that we do need to be more flexible and accommodating for our students and our families and our educators. We've sort of looked at our instruction and seen how we unpack it, looking at those supports and services specifically in special education, and how that differs in in-person instruction from remote learning. And then we can take away those learnings that we have in terms of UDL and those inclusive practices that we've developed during this time. Of course, there have been some challenges in the beginning and probably still continuing. We had to see if students had the hardware and the software. Do they have the Chromebook? Do they have the laptop? Do they have the Wi-Fi connection? teachers and administrators, families meeting in the middle of the street, 6 feet apart, putting down the hot spot so someone can run and grab it so they can take it into the house. I've just heard so many encouraging stories, but those were challenges, and we had to step up to meet those. I think as we go back into in-person learning, we recognize, as Pooja mentioned, there's been that lack of social engagement. So the social, emotional, and mental health challenges have increased for our students, but as well for our teachers. And I think we just need to start to rebuild those relationships so that we can ground ourselves and then be looking at academics to be successful in our teaching and learning. So I think
Thank
those
you.
are the positives.
Yeah, thanks, Glennis. I think you bring it up so well that yes, we are, we've all learned so much, at all levels, whether it's at a teaching level, at an administrative level, or as a parent community. And we have survived it. We are resilient people. I think as educators, we didn't know this world of technology, how much we could use, how much it could improve our delivery. And there is definitely a silver lining that we're taking back, but we understand our challenges. It's not the mode that we were prepared for, and this is not what was education about, and this is not what education is going to be all about either. However, there are positives, and we've discussed, you really bring it so well, that there are positives which we'll take back. So as in California, we are all preparing for reopening in some format, whether it's a hybrid format, and then again we are planning our opening time for fall, and we're so looking forward to, as parents, I know, as students, as teachers, as a community, we are just craving that social proximity again, that we have all learned to live in these boxes, of Zoom or Google Meet, whatever media we are following. So we are ready to come back, but again, one of the biggest things we need to remember is the social emotional health, Glennis, that you mentioned. And I can see that districts all across California are working so collaboratively. We're learning from each other. We've realized that working together is smarter, and not in a silo, which was kind of a lot more in the past, pre-COVID time. So thinking about this past year, if there is some things that stand out in your mind as a parent or as a teacher or as an administrator, what is it that you would like to see continue as we discuss reopening or coming back to school? And so, Pooja, let's begin with you.
So I think the thing which I would like to be continued when now the schools are getting opened up in Maryland, where we live, there's already a hybrid system in place. The kids are going to school. I think the most important thing is the continuation of the communication between the teacher and the parents. Like Ms. Shane also mentioned that she would love to have that thing continued, because I think that is very important for all kind of aspects. Like the kids everybody has gone through a lot, not just the kids and the parents, but the teachers. I mean, we should not forget their efforts. I mean, hats off to them. So I mean, it's very important for like child's development, and we should continue doing that maybe on a weekly basis or monthly basis. And now I think technology should be integrated more into the system, because we never saw that side of technology in the past. Like you said, we were all into like those traditional methods, but now I see technology as a blessing.
Great.
I mean, the way the kids are learning, especially if I tell you about my son, I mean, he has grown a lot with the technology. It's a blessing for us. Yeah. So I would like that to be incorporated more while they go back into the school building. So those are the few things which I would like to be continued.
Yes.
Forever.
Yeah, no, I think we all realize that, we've seen a level of communication enhanced and increased because of technology. even though we have our glitches. But and equity, making sure everybody has that software and hardware that Glennis was talking about earlier. We are making sure that we are using technology to benefit our relationship, build our relationship, and connect with each other and check in with each other more. So thank you for bringing that up, Pooja. Shane, what are some things that come to your mind as we prepare for reopening?
Yeah, so definitely is the use of technology to engage students, especially that when we transition virtually into in-person learning. Second is communication with the parents, and Pooja stressed it a lot on it. So a system that I can communicate with my parents on a weekly basis, if it's not every day. Now I can hold IEP meetings, parent conferences virtually. I don't have to have the parents come to the school physically. That is one thing that I would like to continue. Third is the collaboration. It is very necessary to collaborate. And collaboration with the parents, because I always believe that parents are our partners in educating the students or their children. So during distance learning, parents are able to observe how teachers teach skills or strategies firsthand virtually. So that is something that, or something like an opportunity for my parents to experience in my class, have a monthly mini training with them on how to present a lesson, on how to deal with the behavior challenges, especially because we are going to transition from virtual learning to in-person learning. So collaboration with them would be very necessary.
Thank you, Shane. That is very important. You really bring up very important points, and I hope we'll all keep that in mind as we plan reopening. Glennis, what are some things that come to your mind as you think of reopening?
Well, I couldn't agree more with Pooja and Shane on the collaboration and the technology themes. Those are just two really big takeaways for me as well. I think the one thing from a big picture perspective, again, as an administrator, is that we're in a new normal. We are not going to go backward. We're going to go forward, and we're going to go forward collaboratively, I hope, because in a partnership is where we do our best work. That's where our best work is centered. So I hope we take all those lessons that we've learned forward to in-person learning, hybrid, full return, whatever the model is. So personally, I would say the two biggest learnings for me are that I need to always be listening, have an open door policy, hear my teachers and my student and their families. What do they need? Do they just need a sounding board because it's a level of frustration, or do they need me to actually bring forth resources? And so after I listen, then I need to walk the walk. So if it's resources that they need, then I need to find those resources within the district, partnering with outside agencies, a variety of players. And so I think just listening, I want to take that stance forward and give people time, and particularly because our teachers and our parents are the listeners to the students first and foremost, and sometimes they just need to have us be there for them as well. I'm kind of a background player. I'm in the backdrop, but I do feel like it's really my responsibility to be a huge support for everyone.
No, thank you so much, Glennis. You definitely bring the point across that we are the background support when we are playing the role of administrators, but they depend on us. Our community is depending on us. Our teachers and our families are depending on us. So we are also the resource providers. So we have to listen and then act to support them in their work, everyday work. And we're really excited. It's been a long year of being in this box and coming back in person, keeping the safety in mind. I'm amazed to see how quickly school districts are getting ready with all the action items of taking care of transportation, taking care of all the logistics inside the classroom, and the furniture and the playground area is getting ready for students to return. So there, it's all hands on deck right now. So we are all there together, and we will problem solve every day as needed. So I think as parents, please be reassured that your children are our priority. Their safety, their learning, and their social and emotional health is a priority right now for everyone together. So just being patient and being kind with each other will be taking us a long way out. And we're in this together, learning together and working together, and couldn't be happier to be closer in proximity to do this together. So let's, with that thought, I think I really like to thank all my panelists for taking their time out on their weekend to join me and talk about the reflection on distance learning. Thanks, everyone.